The reason I've been stepping so hard lately is because everybody feels it's just okay to play with black culture. For some, whatever reason, we so welcoming. We let everybody come to the barbecue and grab a plate, and then all of a sudden, they get to thinking that they really one of us and really get to crossing certain lines that you're not supposed to cross when you enter into other cultures. It's like take your shoes off at the door, take your hat off, put your coat on the coat rack, show some respect when you walk in the house that was built by somebody else, when it's owned by somebody else. So the fact that everybody feels they have ownership in black culture was crazy to me. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all thinking y'all could just really have some say-so in this shit. Like, nah, bro, if you don't come from this, you don't have no say-so. You're a spectator. You can be involved. You could come rally around niggas if you really for the culture, but for the way that they been out here talking and disrespecting, like, somebody from the culture has to speak up for the culture. Because if you get to talking about them Jewish people, they stepping and they don't give a fuck about none of y'all talking about, oh, y'all they don't care. Oh, y'all sensitive and this and that. They don't give a fuck. It's anti-Semitic and they stepping on you, period. They shutting you down. So black people need to start being the same way. They gonna call you names anyway. They already call us names anyway. So we might as well just get to stepping and let y'all know, like I said, y'all gonna respect us like the Jews, nigga. We not none of these niggas that be tap dancing and trying to appease Matt. No, nigga, you gonna respect us the same way y'all respect everybody else, or it's gonna be a motherfucking problem, especially when y'all working in our culture. Like this nigga, Andrew Schulz, right? He made a name for himself in comedy. Cool. I like some of his shit, or I used to like some of his shit. He started fraternizing with the culture, bringing them on the show, whatever the case. He recently has some controversial things going on. He has some things to say about K-Dot. No, not K-Dot, excuse me. K-Dot responded to him because he has some things to say about black women or whatever the case. Some people got offended, some people didn't.
But you know what people, not to cut you off, what people were saying is like, even though we know where to take it, but he's so happy. He's saying people shouldn't be offended by things. It's like K-Dot never said a name. Cuz just said, this not what I'm getting at though. Yep. This what I'm saying is a hit dog will holler. So by him, he's loving the fact that he feels like this is addressed to him, even though his name was never mentioned. You jumped out the window regardless, feeling like, oh, you're sensitive as a comedian, but you're telling other people not to be sensitive about the jokes you say. So why are you so sensitive that K-Dot said what he said about white people speaking on black women?
That's a great point, because K-Dot did not say a name. He just said white comedian. He said white comedian speaking on black women, blase, blah, whatever.
Was that on the song The Whacked Out Murals or something? What
was
the song called?
Yeah, that was Whacked Out Murals.
I listened to the song one time. But I was wondering who he was talking about when he said white comedian speaking on black women. But what black woman was he speaking on? Because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wondering, like, huh?
It was. Now he's speaking in general about.
It was on a podcast. It was Shits and Gigs podcast. Two people from the UK. They had a podcast. They came on to. I don't even know what his podcast is called. Brilliant Idiots, I think, something like that. That might be with Charlemagne. But they came on a podcast and he started making jokes towards them about black women. It wasn't any black women in specific, but it was just black women in general.
So the reason I brought this back up, because we already spoke on this.
Right.
He responded to Kendrick by saying, you know, I'm not gangster. His guys F me up, whatever the case. But me and him, you put us in the cell, and I'm having sex with him. And either he's going to decide if he likes it or not, but I'm going to have my way with him. So everybody laughing, blase, blah. Like, wait a minute, nigga. This sound like you saying you gonna buck break a black man. See, y'all don't listen to the undertones. It's a lot of truth in comedy. You could try to run that comedian shit. Oh, I'm being edgy. No, nigga. We have a history of the strong black men who are deemed as leaders of the culture and the community being buck broken in front of the community to destroy any type of hope that we had in him.
I think
so. They take the biggest slave, they would fuck him literally in his ass, in front of his kids, in front of his wife, until that nigga is crying and he's no more. Like, he's not even a man at that point. So to use that as a reference to a response of him just saying, hey, put some respect on our black women if you're not black, to me is like, whoa, wait a minute, bro. You crossing too many lines and you a little too comfortable.
Well, I think one of the things that, and I'm sure Andrew Schulz for one, that's how white dudes joke like that, right? Like that's something that, and how they joke. I also think that exactly what you said. I think he understands, or he knows to a certain degree, one thing that black men don't fuck around with is sexuality. So I feel like that's why he pointed at that way, or he went that way, because when you're pretty much saying, hey, I could do whatever I want to you, I'll rape you, I'll fuck you, that's a big insult. That's like saying suck my dick or something like that. That's very, very, I feel like pretty much saying you can't do anything to me, you're a little guy, and it's really disrespectful. So I feel like he said that knowing that within our culture, people calling each other gay or whatever the case is, it's a big deal. And that's why he wants another response probably to go even more viral than he did this time.
I mean, the whole thing is like, it's a double standard at the end of the day. Kendrick, before you get to Andrew Schulz, you got to address the line of black men disparaging black women. You got to address the line of black women disparaging black men, the rap music.
But he did in the line. He said he wasn't even really talking about him. He was talking about the black men that sit by and let it happen. That's what he was really talking about.
But the thing is, black men sit by and let black men talk and disparage black women. So it's just like, to me, it's like, okay, you're singling him out. And I think if I'm Schulz, I'm going to say that. Like, bro, you coming after me for saying some jokes. I'm a comedian. There's dudes out here in the red pill community who get on the internet all day and do nothing but disparage black women. Like that, they make a living off of doing that. And they're white, black, whatever. You got females like Cynthia G. She talks about aborting black male babies every day, encouraging black women to do that every day. So it's kind of like,
fuck her, by the way.
Right, she's freaking crazy. But Kendrick,
I'm gonna tell you where it's not a double standard though, because it's still us. If it's disparaging or not, it's still us criticizing us. No other community is gonna let someone from the outside the community come and do what he did to their community. I'm sorry, they just not. It's not gonna happen, bro. They gonna get to stepping on shit. But now we could say, let's address the rappers and let's address the red pill. I'm with you on that. Let's do that. But that's us cleaning our backyard, not an outsider. Because we could be fighting, but soon as an outsider come, all attention is on the outsider now. We'll figure this shit out later. But nigga, you ain't from over here, so you can't partake in this, nigga.
Because that's like, even you could be outside. Say you and your woman arguing, and another race or somebody try to get involved. What you think is gonna happen? Y'all both gonna turn on the other person trying to get involved in y'all business.
Exactly. You can be like, mind your motherfucking business, nigga. Because if white men is talking about their issues with white women, black men don't have no say so or no place to go be like, man, you shouldn't be talking about white women like that. Nigga, we're not white, nigga. But that's their problem.
There's a lot of nuance to that, because your girl gonna call the white police to come get your ass if she feel like, you know, I mean, black women call the police on black men just to win an argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some petty shit. But there's a lot of nuance to it. At the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar is not a leader of any particular community or nothing. He's an entertainer. I boiled down to, and Malcolm X said this. This is why you don't put entertainers and stuff in leadership positions or follow them, because what I've noticed with celebrities and stuff, they'll jump their ass out there and start some shit, but then when it's time to finish it, they'll be like, you know, they'll try to be like waving the white flag, if it affects their bottom line. You saw that situation with like the Kyrie Irving situation. You saw that situation a lot with LeBron James. He say some shit, stick his foot in his mouth. What does he do? He doesn't come out and be like, you know what, I was wrong, I apologize. If his boss told him to do it, he would do it. But he just goes back into his little cave and hides while we basically deal with the repercussions of the shit they're saying. What is
Kendrick actually doing? Has he ever came out and made it seem like I'm trying to lead y'all to the lake to an extent like I'm leading the people?
No, but I feel like people are putting him in that position. Like,
yeah, but that's not his fault.
You can't get mad
I'm not
at
saying
that.
it's his fault.
But what do you think
I'm
about the
saying
actual comments, though?
We got to look at it from what we're doing.
And that was my point about that, is that everybody's focused on everything else but the actual comments that were made.
Right.
It just wasn't funny to boil down to it to begin with. Like, you could say, oh, Kendrick should have called out black culture first, or, you know, Andrew Schulz has this right. Yeah, all that's fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, what he said in response to what Kendrick said is crazy.
He said, I'm going to buck break you. I'm going to fuck you. First of all, why the black man got to be in a cell? Why we got to be in a cell? So first of all, if we in a cell,
we were in a cell,
right? Exactly. So automatically now, black men got to be in a cell. Stereotype. and then you gonna buck break a black man. You're gonna fuck him in his ass. The most demoralizing thing you can do to a man, and not just a man, a black man, knowing our history. Like, I want to keep making that a point because y'all don't realize buck breaking was a real thing. Imagine you get into it with your boss at work. He fucks you in front of your wife and children. Like, bends you over, no Vaseline.
Well,
fucks you in your ass,
and
nigga.
for people that don't understand the degree of what bro talking about,
it's crazy.
They've been doing these things, and I feel like they do them at different levels now when it comes to our people, especially when we get in certain positions. That's what they say, when you get to the top, be prepared to be crucified, especially our people and our leaders. But the psychological effect of what they used to do with that is that now you're making a mama that's raising another son raise the son up soft, so he doesn't become aggressive and ever become like the person that just happened to. And this is an effect on, and then they take the males out the picture, like he said, the strongest one. So anyone who feels like they want to be about that, you see what's going on with him, is going to make you weak mentally. And now you're fucking a whole nother generation of men that's supposed to be aggressive and be leaders within their own communities. Because they scared of the repercussions of what just happened to that person.
Kendrick said, "Don't let no white comedian talk about black women. That's law." And Andrew Schulz responded by saying, "I'll fuck the shit out of you. You can't do nothing about it." He pretty much called him a bitch and said, "You're not physically imposing whatsoever. I can do whatever I want with you." If Kendrick Lamar is now to come out and say, "I need your fade," what you think gonna happen? Everybody goes, "Oh, this dude is an animal. Look at how he was responding. You too old to be doing this and that." So I feel like even if Kendrick Lamar is to respond, he's going to get shit for that. And that just shows the double standards in the cultures, because Andrew Schulz can respond aggressively, because that's aggressive way to respond.
Passively aggressive at that.
On TV. But if Kendrick gets to respond back, watch how shit is going to go.
No, because
he's going to be the bad guy.
Even if he does respond, all they're going to say is it was a fucking joke.
Exactly.
So if Kendrick, but that's why Kendrick, you don't respond through the net. You don't respond through nothing. You wait till you catch him. Tell niggas all the time, move in silence. Whenever you run into that boy, you know what time it is. It ain't nothing else to be talked about.
And this is what I don't like, because he tried to, oh, well, his homies, I don't want no smoke with him. So now you picking and choosing. Like, oh, no, I don't want no smoke with none of your homies. I know they'll F me up, but I'll do this and that. Like, nah, nigga, you opening that door, and them can of worms, take whatever come with that.
Cuz trying to get clout off of it.
I mean, the thing is, he's speaking figuratively, right? Kali, you picked up on exactly what he was saying. You can try to dissect the shit down to make it more than what it was. He's basically saying, nigga, I'm not scared of you, and I'm not worried about you. Individually, you won't do shit, and that's a fact. Kendrick Lamar ain't beating nobody else.
You know that for a fact?
You don't know if I put money on Kendrick.
How you know Schulz ever called fades?
I'm pretty sure Kendrick called more fades than Cuz ever did in his life.
I'm putting more money
I don't
on
think
Kendrick, who grew up in Compton with the West Side Power Rules, over Andrew Schulz. Like, come on, stop playing,
This is what y'all don't get about Kendrick. Y'all think
crazy.
because he wasn't an official gang member that he never participated in gang bang activities. This is why even when you listen to Good Kid, Mad City,
You don't gotta bang to catch a squabble.
it don't matter though. But when you go into Compton, you've caught a fade, whether you're gang banging or not. And if you're hanging around gang members, 9 times out of 10, you didn't probably did things with them gang members, being your homies and all that.
That's why
Andrew
4
Schulz-
Extras was saying he don't believe in non-affiliates. Because nigga, if you hang with him, nigga.
Andrew Schulz is saying, you're not physically a threat to me in any way personally. Yeah. He acknowledges that he's been in the gang life, or he's been around that, and that if he did tell some dudes to ride down on him, he could do that. He's just saying, you personally, I'm not afraid of you or anything, so whatever you're telling me, I'm not doing it.
So why not just say that? Why take it out of context and disrespect
why
you
go
in
to
the
buck
worst
breaking?
way?
Because, and then the buck breaking thing, black people, especially black men, we're very sensitive to that, and we like to make a big thing out of that, because the reality is we know that in our communities, we really haven't been taking a leadership role and doing what we're supposed to do. So now we try to hyper emotionalize every situation. Oh, but the buck breaking, this and that. Listen, man, for one, who cares about what happened during slavery? Black dudes are willingly getting buck broken down. Gay as hell, running around in dresses and shit.
It's a fact.
That's men, period.
He's basically just like, same thing of a black person say, I could have been your cellmate or whatever. That's implied. I could have just, we watch Life. You want your cornbread? We laugh. It was funny. Now when Schulz said, who is a comedian, it's like serious. I just don't think that there's as much.
But you want your cornbread is me taking your food.
Nah.
Right? That's me marking you
But
out.
what does it
You still
represent?
He-
What does
he
it
didn't go-
represent?
that's-
He marking you out.
represent. I'm
But that's
marking
what he
you
said.
out.
That's what
Yeah.
Andrew
Don't
Schulz
let
is saying
nobody
as
take
well.
your
No.
cornbread. The cornbread represented your ass.
Look.
Basically, it was a sign of you being dominated.
Look,
If
we
they could take
could
that from you, what else
try
did
to
they take? Yeah.
we can try to it's nuance. No, nigga, it's called sticking on code. It's called staying on code, nigga. If we stepping as a culture, we stepping.
We water shit down too much. That's the problem. We allow
Exactly.
niggas to get away with too much. Every time we say, "Oh, it was just this, it was just that." No, nigga, because when they get to doing weird shit, then now we mad at it. This is why they keep doing what the fuck they doing.
but y'all think
Like he
Kendrick-
said, they're not talking about no Mexicans. They're not talking about no white people. They're not going to take it to that extent and get to disrespecting them like that.
He
But
would
you
have
got-
never said that about somebody Jewish.
But
You
you
know
got-
that for a
Y'all think
fact.
Kendrick-
We don't know what he would have done, but
Man, we know that,
But what
nigga.
I'm telling you is, you got to pick your battles, bro. Like, I look at everything holistically. Okay, we worried about him butt breaking Kendrick Lamar, but 80% of black people just voted for a bitch talking about children should get sex changes, black children. We should let these people in the bathroom with our daughters and stuff. 80% of black people supported that.
We speak
it's
on all
very
of
hard.
this.
We
it's
stepping on all that, though.
But what I'm telling you is, it's very hard to identify the code among blacks when
It's all over the place.
80% of us are down with degenerate stuff like
but
that.
we're not
Probably
down.
would love
Our code, we're not down with that.
Right.
So we don't have to move in that sense. We move and you be the change you want to see. You don't have to go, well, the rest of 80% is getting butt broken or whatever, and now I got to do it. No, nigga, we're going the opposite way. And this is why bro is speaking up or we're speaking on it now. This ain't fucking cool, and we letting y'all know that. So it don't have to be justifying it and saying, oh, well, everybody else is doing it. We need to start there. Like, no, them niggas is done. They're gone. We know that already.
Well,
Y'all
yeah.
think K-Dot in the stew right now, responding to Schulz?
Adam Schulz.
Nah,
I'm not
fuck
worried
him.
about
We ain't
him.
giving him no
Adam
more
Schulz
clap.
is a
That nigga
nigga.
not worried about
Hey,
that
look.
nigga.
Hey, look, let me say this too, right? Because I keep saying, oh, black man this, black man that. Listen, bro, if you grew up playing sports, you grew up making gay jokes. If you are in any type of blue collar work, you do gay jokes. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. All this whole black men don't play with the gay jokes. What you think no homo and pause is? That's niggas' way of saying gay. Oh, no homo, you just said some gay shit. Like, niggas do sex play niggas, like, in a playful way if we cool. Especially, nigga, if you play football, you play with white boys, you play with it. Y'all do that on the football team, bro. Like, let's not make it seem like niggas was above doing that, bro. Like, if you work construction, you work in the oil field, you gonna hear that shit all day long. But it's a difference when you cool. We on the football team, we on the same crew, working these night shifts and working these, and some random comedian on TV talking about,
Oh,
fuck you.
That's crazy.
In front of other black men who had nothing to say, just
And I
kiki
been-
and ha-ha, because
Man.
you niggas, it's even worse. You sitting there kiki and ha-ha when you should have been, hey, homie,
But
check this out, bro.
I been got on that nigga. That
you
nigga
tripping.
don't know.
Charlamagne, we waiting on your response, nigga, because you be kiki and ha-ha with, cuz y'all got y'all little show. We need to see you checking some temperatures, nigga.
But a lot of them
gonna have to say something.
is seeing it the way Brandon just explained, that it's not that serious to them.
Yeah.
So-
But the thing is, you gotta. Kendrick Lamar came at bro first, bro. Like, as a man, you can't tell
he
another.
never said cut
you
name.
can- it
It's
doesn't-
more than one
he-
white comedian that ever talked about black women.
That's
we
a fact.
are-
This could have been happening on
Bro,
for.
everybody knows who he was talking about because that was a big headline in the news. It's like saying somebody shot somebody in Long Beach and they like, you talk about somebody getting shot in Long Beach and be like, oh man, but he didn't say the guy's name. He said it. We all knew who he was talking about. Adam Schulz clearly knew who he was talking about. Everyone knows. And you just can't tell another man what to say. Like, black people, when you get mad about this shit, remember, this is what you asked for. We want to be equal in society to these people. Guess what that means? You're going to get equal criticism, equal hate, equal everything. So I feel like black people want to be equal with white people. Guess what? That means white people going to be able to talk about you as much as you talk about them. It's funny that black people don't ever have this problem when black people talk about white people. I was at the Laugh Factory the other day. Then every black comedian in there got up there and was just roasting this white dude. Random white dude with his wife. They talking major shit about him.
But that
Black dude
happens
just
all the
laughed it
time.
off. I mean, white dude just laughed it off and took it. Sometimes you're gonna get
That's
singled out.
reparations, nigga. When we get reparations, we'll stop roasting you at the comedy
but
show.
that happens all the time.
But
at the
Gary
comedy
always
shows
done
with the-
roasted plenty of black
Fuck
people.
you
saying,
talking
white
about?
comedians do it all the time.
Yeah, no, I
It's-
know, but I'm just saying it was the context of why
That's
this
what
is
people
brought
don't
up. He
understand
didn't,
it,
even
yeah.
the boy Schulz or whatever. He didn't roasted black people before. This ain't the
Yeah.
first time he didn't spoke up on
It's the
something.
way you do it that makes it makes a whole difference. Like even the jokes that he said on his podcast, who knows if he was on stage in a whole different environment, it would have went a whole different way. We probably wouldn't be talking about it.
The point is, Kendrick Lamar's a simp. This dude is trying to defend black women. Black women have entire institutions dedicated to defending themselves. They got the Bay Hive and all types of shit. The K Hive and all that. So guess what? Let those bitches handle their own problems, Kendrick. Stop simping, bro. Because you saying stuff because it seems virtuous, but in reality, it's very ignorant of the nuance in all these situations. And you're going to probably end up getting in a fight with Adam Schulz.
Listen,
if you
bitches,
keep doing it.
The bitches, yes. The women, no. We got to
still gotta
protect
be here
our
for 'em.
women
Yeah,
at
that's
all
what
costs.
They don't want us to protect
No.
them anymore.
Listen to
women
what
do.
I'm saying,
The
bro.
women do.
The women, the bitches and the hoes and the sluts, they on their own.
Donald Trump said he was
The
going to
women.
protect women whether they like it or not, and they were all pissed off at this dude. Like, how dare
Bro.
you try to protect us? Those days are over. Chivalry is dead.
Man,
Kendrick.
you know women don't know what the fuck they be talking
Well,
about.
yeah.
Come on, bro. That's why we
They
think
gonna
for
cover you
them.
down.
That's why we got to think for them.